Hi everyone and welcome to Behind the Guernsey, where we've interviewed all the draftees so far except for one player, and that's Paddy McCartin, and we're with him today. Paddy, thanks for joining us.
Thanks Tommy, thanks for having me mate.
So Paddy, tell us about your first few months at the club, well, almost a year now. How's it been?
Yeah, it's been good mate. It's been pretty full on, obviously, like coming into a full-on environment. It's taken a bit to get used to, but I'm loving my time at the Saints. So it's a fantastic group of boys, and as we've seen so far this year, there's a fair bit of excitement down at the club just because of the young group coming through and the amount of games we've been able to win compared to say last year, and just how competitive we've been. So it's been a bit of an adjustment, obviously moving away from home, but yeah, I've loved my time here so far.
Can you talk us through your childhood from a sporting perspective and also from a schooling perspective?
Yep. Yeah, so I was actually born in Hobart. So my old man and my mum went down there probably 2 years before I was born. My old man went down there to play footy, and I ended up being born there, same with my second oldest brother Charlie. So I lived there till I was about 3.5, and then moved to Geelong in about 1999 and grew up there until obviously this year when I've had to move away. So I love living in Geelong. My parents both played sport pretty heavily when I was growing up, so I sort of grew up around footy clubs at St Joey's in Geelong, and also Colac, which is where Tom Simpkins from. I grew up down there, and yeah, loved footy probably ever since I could walk really. I grew up with a footy in my hand, and in terms of schooling, I went to Clairvaux Primary School in Geelong, which is just a little primary school down there, and then I went to St Joey's from year 7 through to the end of year 10, and I loved my time down there. Made a lot of really good mates. At the end of year 10, I got offered a scholarship to Geelong Grammar for footy, so I probably tossed that up for a fair bit. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do there for a while, but I ended up just having a crack at it and went out there for a couple of years and really enjoyed my time there as well. So I was lucky enough to get an opportunity at a few different schools, and yeah, really enjoyed both of them.
Was it always footy in the winter, or was there other sports involved as well, and in the summer?
Nah, it was always footy. I know there's a fair few boys at the club and probably all over the league that have that sort of two-sport sort of thing going, so they're really good at like basketball or footy or cricket and footy or whatever, but I was usually probably more preferred for footy, and then in the summer I played cricket with my mates and loved that, and liked to think that I could bowl pretty fast, but I couldn't really. And then yeah, I was straight into footy as soon as I could.
How's the transition been from being in Geelong to living with a host family closer to St Kilda here? Yeah,
it's been all right. I mean, you probably speak to any kid that's come out of the draft and that's had to move away from home, and it's probably a bit of an adjustment period that you have to go through. But I've been really lucky that Tony Brown and Billy Moe, our welfare managers, have been fantastic in teaming up with a really good family that have been really good for me, and they've been really supportive. And obviously my family in Geelong as well have been fantastic, and any time that I wanted to get back and see them and catch up with them, I have. So the club's been fantastic in supporting me in that, and any sort of troubles I've had, or if I've been feeling a bit worried or a bit nervous about it, I can just go and speak to whoever, and I'll get a bit of support. So yeah, it's been really good.
Let's talk about footy. I know it's only early days, but has there been a time when you felt as if the expectation has really got to you?
Not really, nah. I mean, you sort of get into the club, and I think I remember speaking about it a little bit before the draft, that it's just a number. Like, I know I got taken early on, but it's just a number, and once you get in, it's true that you just become part of the group, and like there's no real judgment or anything like that. Like, you just come in and you work as hard as you can and try and earn a bit of respect, and then once the season sort of ticks around, it just gets into it, and everyone's worried about one thing, and that's winning. So obviously that's sort of that self-pride where you want to perform and do your best for the team, but in terms of actually feeling like I have to perform because I'm an earlier pick, there hasn't been that at all, so it's been really good.
Talk us through your debut. You probably only found out about half an hour before you went onto the ground that you were going to play. Can you talk us through that sort of hour or two before the game on that Friday night against Collingwood? Yeah,
it's a bit of a blur, to be honest, like that whole probably 2 hours leading into the game. So Riewoldt obviously had a bit of a niggle with his calf, and I was sort of on standby, I guess. So we had the captain's run on the Thursday, it would have been, because we had a Friday night game, and we sort of got through that, and Roo got through it all right, and Richo sort of came up to me and said, just prepare as if you're going to play, but we reckon Roo will be right. He got to the game and he was right to go, so I didn't relax at all, but I sort of thought, yeah, he'll be fine, and I was just mucking around a little bit, reading the record and trying to relax a few of the other boys that were pretty tense, and then Rui went up for a run and he came back down and he sort of said to me, get ready mate, and then I got a bit tense all of a sudden. And Richo came up to me and said, yeah, it's looking more likely than not that you're going to play. So I sort of had to switch on straight away, and that was probably, I don't know, 50 minutes before the game, I reckon. So I just started to switch on straight away, and then all of a sudden I was out on the ground playing. So it turned around pretty quick, but yeah, it was unreal to make my debut on a Friday night at the G. I mean, you sort of sit there every Friday night growing up and you watch those games, and then to sort of be out there, it's a bit surreal. But yeah, it probably wasn't the ideal result, but to get one game under my belt was, yeah, it was pretty satisfying and really good.
What sort of influence has Nick Riewoldt had on your career so far?
Yeah, he's been pretty good, mate. He's as you'd know, he's a pretty great man, and obviously there's been a bit going on for him this year. Like he's had a lot on his plate, but you wouldn't know it at the club. Like he's a true professional, and the way he goes about his business, it's pretty easy to see coming in as a first year why he's been so successful over the last more than a decade. But yeah, he's been fantastic for me. It's not even having to talk to him. Like I can just sort of watch him on the track and learn so much. But then off the field as well, like he's such a great person, and I mean he's been fantastic for me on the field, but off the field as well. Like he's shown me so much, and just like in terms of character and personality and things like that, he's a great person, and yeah, I've learned a lot from him. So he's been fantastic for me.
I want to ask you about Hugh Goddard. So Geelong Falcons and Vic Country teammates, centre-half back, centre-half forward of the future potentially. Do you feel that burden? Do you understand the role you might have to play in St Kilda's next premiership tilt? Yeah,
well, obviously me and Huey have grown up together, and we've probably played footy for the last 7 or 8 years together. So, I mean, when people you sort of hear a bit about me and him maybe holding up that sort of end of the ground for the next couple of years or however long it is, but I don't think it's a burden, because I mean we've sort of come in, and I've got Rui and Brucey and Skunk and those guys that have been fantastic for me to look to, and then he's got blokes like Shinner and Chipper and those kind of guys that have been fantastic for him. So we've got a lot of time to sort of come in and learn our craft, and then if there comes a time when we sort of have to take over, then I'm sure we'll be absolutely ready for that, and we'll have a lot of support as well.
You mentioned a few nicknames there, Skunk and Shinner and Chips, and these sort of guys. Skunk is obviously a forward, Tim Membry.
Tim Membry, yeah.
This competition for spots that you have, do you feel it? Do you feel as if it makes you a better player?
Yeah, well I think so. I think it's really healthy. Like you see all the best sides have a lot of competition for spots, so for us to have really good players back at Sandy, and obviously that's reflected as well in how Sandy going this year there, I think we're equal first there as well. So to have that sort of competition for spots, it just makes you really hungry, and when you get your opportunity, like Skunk performed really well over that 10-week period when he was in the side, and then when I got my opportunity, I wanted to grab it with both hands as well. So it just makes you really hungry, and when you get your opportunity, you want to grab it with both hands and make sure you perform to the best of your ability for the team. So yeah, I think it's really healthy.
Okay, Paddy, if you could describe your time at the club in one word, what would it be?
Well, there's a lot of words that come to mind, but the main one would probably be just unreal. I've had an unreal time so far, and I've met some fantastic blokes. So, and we've obviously had a bit of success this year, had a few wins, and I've been a part of one of them. So, yeah, it's been pretty unreal, and I've loved it.
Thanks for having a chat.
Thanks, Tommy. Cheers, mate.
Well, that's Paddy McCartin, #1 draft pick, but more importantly, potentially part of St Kilda's next premiership tilt. Thanks for joining us on Behind the Guernsey. Remember to keep clicking back to saints.com.au for all your latest St Kilda news.